Hey, what's happening? I'm Scott. This is Motivated by Mountains, and today I want to talk to you about water and water filtration on trail. The first question that comes to mind when discussing water or filtering water is, should I filter my water while backpacking? Now, this is just my personal experience and just my personal opinion, but I say, hell yes, filter your water. You're definitely not going to find super clean, beautiful water everywhere you go. Somewhere you might, but occasionally you're going to be taking water from a dirty, small, shallow, stagnant, muddy mess.
That mud water.
Yumminess.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
It's just going to happen. I mean, you might even be filtering water from something that has dead animals in it.
Nothing like filtering water with worms.
I have had severe food poisoning multiple times, and from what I understand, giardia and food poisoning are fairly similar. Things are coming out of every possible part of the body that they can come out of. You feel terrible, it lasts for a few days, and then afterwards you feel like you have the flu. Make sure and stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share a couple of tips and tricks that I've learned over the years to make it a little bit easier to collect water from difficult water sources, collect water when it's pouring down rain and you don't want to get out of your shelter, as well as just dual purpose items in my kit. I have used pump style filters that typically are fairly large, they're heavy, and they tend to get clogged, and then you actually have to disassemble at least a portion, if not most, of those pump style filters to get them working properly again. So that, for me, is not something that I'm willing to deal with. Plus, I don't like to carry that extra weight. There are tabs and chemicals that you can use, like Aquamira or other things of that nature. Some people use bleach, but it takes quite a while before you can actually drink the water. And most of the areas that I hike, which typically are on the east coast of the US, there are fairly frequent water sources, so I can carry less water, and I want to be able to stop, filter water, camel up, as they say, chug a bunch of water, and do that quickly and easily. When you first start thinking about it, it sounds great because it sounds like you can just sit back and hang out while your water's filtered. The water trickles through this hose, goes through the filter, keeps going down, down, down into your bottle that's attached to the end of the hose. It sounds really great, except that you have all this, and that's a lot of mess to keep up with and a lot of additional weight to carry that's just not necessary. Okay, so like I said, I like to keep things simple and quick when it comes to filtering my water, and this is my filter of choice. This is the Sawyer Squeeze. Now, there are three predominant filters made by Sawyer. There is the Sawyer Squeeze, there is also the Sawyer Micro, and there is a Sawyer Mini. The Sawyer Mini is actually more slender than this, and it's a little smaller. The Sawyer Mini tends to clog up very quickly. I definitely would not recommend messing with that. This is the Micro. I used this filter quite a bit last year, and I was really hoping that it was going to work out. As you can see, it's much smaller than the Squeeze, and it's a bit lighter, but I found it worked great as long as the water was really clean, but as soon as I got into some heavy sediment, it clogged very quickly, and even after backwashing it many, many times, it never ever got back to the original flow rate, and it was pretty slow. So I went back to the Squeeze, which I think is still the best choice. It's not expensive. I'll throw some information about it up on the screen, and of course there will be links to everything that I mentioned in this video in the description if you want to check these things out. So I use it with a sport cap. This is just a simple sport cap off of a smart water bottle or something similar. You can see the top there. Now, when you buy this particular filter, it is going to come with a giant syringe that is meant to be used to backwash the filter. You do not have to carry that syringe in order to backwash this filter. All you need is one of these sport caps. You simply take it off of the filter, screw it on to your water bottle, which is full of clean water. Pop the top. You want to make sure that you are pushing the flow back through the filter. Normally there is a tag on this filter that has an arrow. These fit together, and you just squeeze the water back through the other end, blowing all of the junk and sediment back out of the filter so that you are able to establish that great flow rate that this filter has. Another thing, there is a washer inside of the filter. A lot of folks have trouble with these falling out. The new kits that are sold with this filter actually come with an extra washer, which is really great, so make sure and carry that somewhere in your backpack. Now, one thing you do need to keep in mind with the Sawyer Squeeze or any similar filter is that once you filter water through the filter, it is wet inside. So if the temperatures drop below freezing, the inside of that filter will freeze and the diaphragm inside will crack. The temperatures go below freezing, super easy. Just carry a Ziploc bag or something like that, throw your filter in there, and then you'll be able to put it in your sleeping bag. And during the day, if the temperatures are still below freezing, you need to keep it inside your jacket or somewhere close just to keep it warm, because you definitely do not want your water filter to freeze. In case that your filter freezes, you lose your filter breaks, whatever, I like to carry a backup of some sort. I personally carry these MSR Aqua tabs, and they're very, very light. They take up no space whatsoever. I suggest just using some disposable water bottles, something like a Life water bottle, Smart water bottle, whatever you want to choose. Doesn't really matter. Easy to find, very durable, super lightweight. This is not what you want to use. Don't think that you need to carry some heavy insulated bottle. For some reason, you do not need this. So this is good, this is not good. Some people like to carry a bag as well for additional water storage and or to filter their water. I personally go back and forth depending on how much water is going to be on the trail on my hike. So if I know that I'm going to need to carry more water, or that there might be dry stretches, I will carry something similar to this. This is an Evernew 2-liter water bag that I've had for years. It works great. The Sawyer filter fits right on the top of this water bag, and it allows me to carry my extra water and filter pretty easily. Sometimes you're going to come up on a very slow moving, trickling little stream, and it's really shallow and it's difficult to fill your bottle or your bag or whatever you're going to use to hold your water that you're going to filter. You can either take sticks and leaves and actually kind of funnel the water to make a little stream, which will direct more of a flow into your bottle. But one of the things that I like to use is my poop trowel. So you find a place where the water is just kind of trickling over, you put the wide end into that shallow water, maybe set a little stone on here, and the water funnels through and actually runs off the end or through the hole, and it will quickly fill up your bottle. Another thing that I like to use is just a cut-off water bottle. This is one of the thinner bottles. It's easy to crush when you have a shallow area, and you can just dip and scoop water and pour it into your bottle or your bag to filter. You've probably seen me mention bread bags as a multi-purpose item that I carry in my kit, and these are great for collecting water as well. So say, for example, you're in your shelter and it is pouring down rain.
I mean, we could just stand around in the rain and it would be totally fine.
You need to get some more water for coffee or cook up some food. All you need to do is take one of these bags and position it outside of your rain fly or tarp where there's a good stream of water coming down, and you can quickly collect half a bag or more of water, which you can then filter or not filter since it's rainwater. And there you go, you got some coffee, food, and you don't have to get out and walk to that water source in the rain. If you just absolutely want to explore the gravity filter setup and you do not want to carry this whole monstrosity that we saw earlier, there is a way to do the gravity filter and make it much simpler. Just pop a couple holes in the plastic on the bottom end, tie a little bit of lightweight shock cord on your bag, and then all you need to do is fill your bag, hang it on a branch. Gravity does all the work. If you got to do the gravity filter, there you go. Okay, that's my experience with water and water filtration on the trail. So I would love to hear how you guys filter your water, carry your water. If you've got any extra tips and tricks for dealing with terrible water sources, that would be awesome. I would love to hear that, so just put that down in the comments so we can all read about it. And if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and do not forget to subscribe to the channel. I will have another video out soon. I am Scott. This is Motivated by Mountains, and I will see you next time. Trail drum? Nah. Dual purpose, man.